Hello and welcome to the Money Chasers podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest. We have Tarryn Thomas from North Melbourne Football Club. And today is a very special day because it's our first actual podcast in a booth set up. We're not on Zoom anymore. From here on out, we are in the podcast room. So welcome, Tarryn.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No worries, man. No worries. Now, look, we'll just get straight into it. I want to learn more about you. I want to learn more about what you're doing in your career and kind of what you have in your future plans and things like that. So just tell me a little bit about what you do, and we can go from there.
Yeah, so I'm an AFL football player. I got drafted 2018, and I was pretty lucky enough to get drafted to a very special club in North Melbourne. They've been great to me, and I feel very blessed to pick top 10. So I was pretty happy with that. And then I moved over 3 days after the draft. Had to pack up all my things, and then
Where were you living first?
Tassie.
Okay.
Yeah, Tasmania. So, but I'm really originally from Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I moved to the big stage in Melbourne. And I went straight into like a host family. That's what we call it here. If you move from interstate.
So what, they kind of like stick you in with someone else that you don't really know?
Yeah. So like a family that's done something for the club or for the AFL, through the AFL. The club like pays for everything for you. Just moved into a family for like a year max, but.
So at that point, you're just starting out, getting your feet wet, kind of building with the team and learning things, and I guess they give you a family to set up with and just get a good base with. Yeah,
definitely, yeah. Just make literally feel safe, outside of footy too. Just have like another little family to get away from the footy life. Just like to keep your mind off it. And then after pre-season, I was lucky enough to get close with one of the senior boys in Aaron Hall, and met all his family and they're loving and stuff like that. So I got really close with them. And he asked me to move in, ever since I've just been living with him for 2 years. And then after the 2 years, he kind of kicked me out. I kind of moved out.
Yeah, big boy stuff.
Yeah. So I found my feet. He took me under his wing and showed me the ropes and stuff like that, ins and outs. And then now I'm by myself in Port Melbourne. Just recently bought my house. So hopefully I'll move into that next month. So and I'll get another indigenous young boy that recently got drafted. So just try and take him under my rings and show him what I got learnt through along the way.
He's with North too?
Yeah. So North Melbourne. It's pretty exciting and a pretty good journey so far.
No, that's awesome. And I guess just to bounce off taking someone under your wing as well, how are you feeling? How that's process been going so far in terms of, you've been through that process coming up as a young and working with someone else, and how are you feeling actually looking after someone now at this point? Yeah,
I'm actually really excited. And it's the first time I'm helping someone that's younger than me, showing his ropes. That what I got, what I got learnt along the way, like ins and outs and stuff like that, and doing what's right and wrong to eat, like dietitians and stuff like that. So I'm just really excited to have someone else just chill with outside of footy, it's like
someone that gets it too.
Definitely.
If you're trying to kind of hang out with people that aren't really in your industry, it's a bit hard to vibe with that person and kind of get along with them. But it's good that you have someone like that.
He looks up to me, and I want to play footy with him in the AFL too with him, so I can show him what's the running patterns and go through game plans and stuff like that to help him, because I want to play with him and all the other young boys. So it's like a bonus for me to teach what I learned and what I learned in the AFL. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I guess bouncing off that, what would you say is a day-to-day kind of look like for you at North and like, you know, through gym and all that stuff? Like what's that kind of look like right now?
Yeah, so pre-season, we're in pre-season at the moment, the back end of it. So we have Monday, Fridays, they're like a big main sessions. So we run like between 13 to 14 Ks. And then when
Session?
Yeah, session. Yeah, for like
Lost
3.5 hours.
That's why I play basketball. Right? We run up and down for 40 minutes. We're good.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
trying to play for 2-3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Wednesdays more like skills based, like learning days, and that's like still like 9 to 10 Ks, something like that. And then Tuesday, Thursdays more like recovery, more like in gym, and then more meetings, and then we were lucky enough to get the weekends off. So the last couple of years we didn't have that, but now our system's pretty good now. So yeah, just got the weekends off to chill out.
Mm-hmm. No, that's it. Is that the system's just changed? Was that like a coaching change, or is that like they decided to change things up a little bit?
No, coaching change. So this is my 4th year in the AFL. So and my first 3 years had 3 coaches.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
that's an adjustment and a half.
yeah. So just trying to get used to actually one main coach for 2 years now. So and yeah, he's pretty good. Coming from Brisbane, so yeah, lucky enough to have him on board with such a young group too. So and everyone just wants to get better, learned off all the coaches and stuff like that. So
No, that's tough. That's tough. How are you finding the adjustment from? I guess it's been a quick stage where you've gone from being a young athlete coming through to now playing in the AFL and being actually like one of the premier guys in that. How has that transition been for you from taking that extra leap up into being like one of the more senior / veteran guys?
yeah, not too bad. So when I was like 15, 16, 17, I was in like it's called like a next generation academy. So it's more like the like indigenous multicultural backgrounds that the clubs gets in. So like all the AFL teams have like zones in Australia, and yeah, I was lucky enough. North was one of my zones. I was in their zone. Sorry. So I was like, they were giving me over to train with them for like 1 or 2 weeks, do like everything with them. Not even like not running. Not running like that much as a junior. And like they was teaching me like all the game plans before I even got drafted. So and like that was like, yeah, I was blessed in that regards, and I can see what their day-to-day in the AFL before we ever got into the AFL. So
Good preparation.
yeah, preparation and stuff like that. So and then when I got into the AFL, I was already making like relationships with all the boys that like stayed. So yeah, so when I transitioned into the actual AFL, when I got drafted, everything was like smoothie and stuff like that. And then now I'm like, not one of the seniors, but I feel like I'm one of the seniors because like we've got such a young group. I'm like still 22 and still one of the older boys. And yeah, so it's been challenging, but there's heaps of boys that want to learn and teach, and all the coaches want us to get better, leadership wise and stuff like that. So
That's good. That's good. I guess one of the main things that I would want to touch on, especially based on the money chasers and kind of what we do, is working with athletes and people that are trying to get into the space of crypto, NFTs, investing their money in different ways. What, I guess a good question for you is, what do you know about crypto, NFTs, or anything along those lines?
yeah, I don't know much about it, but yeah, most of the boys have it in the in the AFL in my team, so they're like normally talk about it, but I don't really pay attention to it. Like, but all I know is like money. So and making money. So yeah, I don't know much about it, but I've definitely heard about it in the change rooms, locker rooms, and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm still trying to learn. That's why I came here. And,
yeah, facts.
And yeah, learn about that. And yeah, hopefully I'll get into it.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very interesting subject because there's guys all around the world. Use Odell Beckham, for example. Like, Odell was just in the Super Bowl. people like him literally just this past season didn't receive a single dollar in USD from their contract.
Yeah.
He got all of his whole contract paid out in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
His whole contract. So the shift that's happening right now is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's just booming. It's going. Like the Staples Center, the Lakers and the Clippers main stadium, they just changed their name to Crypto.com Arena, which is like epic. Everyone knows that crypto is now a thing, and you can't really ignore it anymore. And that's kind of what we're trying to do with the Money Chasers, is bridge that gap between people that don't understand and athletes and artists and entrepreneurs that are even trying to figure out and get into the space. But yeah, it's such a widely growing thing that it's so hard to deny now. And it's going to be interesting to see, if we do take that transition, or when we do take that transition, when AFL players start saying, you know what, no, I want some of my contract in crypto. Leo Messi is another guy, plays soccer, who took half of his $500 million contract in crypto. Like, this is just mind blowing to me. Like, I can't. 2 years ago, people were like laughing at it, and I think the COVID boom really changed that up for a lot of people. But yeah, in general, like, what are you kind of doing? Like, you've obviously come into a completely different world now, since being drafted. Now you're looking at, don't know what your contract is specifically, but you're looking at a lot more money than what you would have been, or you would have had as a kid. How have you found, like, just adjusting to that and kind of reinvesting that and working along with that?
Yeah, definitely. It's like, when you see money, it's like you open your eyes as like a youngster. Like, I remember, like, when I was a kid, like having like $10-20, I'm like, oh, I'm rich now. Like, and
I still do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm still looking at.
And then when I got my first paycheck in the AFL, I'm like, oh, don't know what I'm gonna like. I'm gonna buy this thing, like, and now, like, a couple years in, I'm like still like shocked, like, because I just recently signed a new contract 2-year deal. So
you did, congrats for that. I forgot. That's tough.
So I just signed. So like over the moon that I signed so early. But now, I'm pretty good with my money anyway, like saving and stuff like that. But I just want to invest now that I'm getting paid a lot more than I'm as like a youngster. So really want to invest my money into crypto and stuff like that. And do business with you guys, and go from there.
And it's interesting, like the way, like I said before, like we're getting different people involved, such as yourself and other players, athletes, NBA players involved in the Money Chasers community and things, and it's only just slowly starting. Our goal is to be the most functional NFT and community in general in Australia, pairing with different restaurants and clothing brands and things like that, to offer real world functionality within the NFT space, because that's kind of what we are finding as early investors, that people can't actually use their NFTs for anything. People are at this stage buying a JPEG, like a picture, just for nothing. And it doesn't have, you can't go anywhere and show them like your picture and be like, oh, let me get something with this. There's nothing that you can really do, especially in Australia. So what we're doing now is building that platform so that you can take your phone, and instead of showing your vaccine passport, you can show your NFT and get you get a certain percentage off at that restaurant or that clothing brand, or pairing it with players and get them tickets to their games and things like that. So it's an exciting space. That's all early stuff. You're getting little early snippets into the project. But it's definitely very, very exciting. I want to talk more about your career, kind of where you see it going in general. Like, it's still early days. You're 22. You've been in the league for 3-4 years now, and where do you kind of see like the ceiling for yourself, if there is one?
I don't want to put a ceiling on my career so far, or just yet. But I'm just going year by year and playing. Hopefully, play good footy, and hopefully, get bigger, stronger, fitter every year that comes, and hopefully end of my contract, I can just keep signing and signing away. So hopefully, hopefully I've got like another 10 more years into me. And just hopefully win a Brownlow or a Premiership or something like that before I head out of the game. But I just want to play footy. I love the game, and I just want to get better and better, get the best out of myself, and the most out of myself. So
that's awesome.
I'm just taking it by day and year by year. So
nice. And I noticed just before that there's a nice mural of you. We'll pull up a picture. A nice mural of you. Is that outside of the North Melbourne facility?
It's on Arden Street, so just a couple of streets up. The reason behind that, it was like, would have been 2019 or 2019 I think it was. The club came to me and they said they want to do like a mural about a young indigenous rising star coming through the system with all the bad stuff happening in the States with the Black Lives Matter taking the knee. I was pretty open to that, and I wanted to do that straight away. So I got down to business. So there's a mural a couple of streets over from our training ground. So I'm super blessed for that. Just want to do all the indigenous culture proud and my family proud. So just to remember them from my country and where I'm from. So I'm super proud of that. Get that on the wall and showing that I'm taking a knee for the Black Lives Matter, just showing my love through the game and my culture. It's super exciting.
I love that, man. I love that. And I actually have a crazy story about that whole thing kind of unfolding. I was in the States at the time when all that Black Lives Matter started. I was flying back from New York. Literally, COVID had just struck. So I was in New York, and there was 200,000 cases a day in New York City at that time. And that was when Mum called me and was like, "No, you got to come home." I was like, "All right, but I'll book a flight. I'll come home."
Yeah.
Flew to LA. That was the first layover. Flew to LA, and we had like a 12-hour layover. I was with my boy Max at the time. And we had all our luggage and everything. We couldn't leave it anywhere. We had to take it where we were going, and there's an In-N-Out burger. Have you been to LA before?
Yeah.
So you know the In-N-Out right down the road from LAX?
Yeah.
We went there, but we had to walk all of our stuff there. Like, we were going to get a taxi. It was like $50 taxi just to get there. It was like a 10-minute walk. We're like, that. Well, I'll love all my stuff. I'm a broke college student. Like, I'm not spending any money. Dragged all of our luggage. Like, I had 3 suitcases and a backpack. He had the same thing. And we were walking the street there, and an alert popped up on our phone because that was literally the minute that the Black Lives Matter, just the movement started going crazy. So LA was shut. Everything was just like all the roads, the streets, everything was just shut down. There was people protesting, flipping cars, throwing like Molotovs. It was insane.
Yeah.
And we were like, those Apple alerts that come through.
Yeah.
One of them came through and said everyone has to go home. There's a curfew. Has to go home. Has to leave. And we were like, what do we do? We're in the middle of the street, in the middle of LAX. Like, what are we meant to do here? And we were tripping. We were thinking, like, what are we like? We're stuck in LA. Like, our flights were going to get cancelled and all this. We were just seeing crazy things happen outside, and we just dipped. We went back to the airport, lugged all of our stuff. We were thinking we were going to get jumped or something. We were good. But it was crazy just to be a part of that. I guess to witness it, and then to get back home. And once I was quarantining back home, and people started posting the the blackout squares and things like that, and started to really do some more reading on what's different movements that have been happening. And within that time, I think they stormed the White House at that point. And it was just kind of crazy. Just like to think that people really, really stepped up, because there's been a really, really, really bad stigma in America, especially with I guess, police brutality and things like that, and kind of a lot of people just turned a blind eye to it. And yeah, like for us, I think it's a good thing to be advocates in that space for sure. And I think it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and the more people that we can collectively get along and on board, it's going to be that much more powerful as well. But yeah, look, I want to talk to you a bit more about what else is happening in your career. I actually saw the other day you doing some modelling stuff, pretty boy, getting a whole bunch of things going. But what else has been happening?
Yeah, obviously footy takes most of the time, but yeah, I'm like literally doing anything to keep my mind busy. That's not in footy world, so like modelling, played a bit of basketball on PlayStation. So I like on that, going to the beaches. I love right next to the beach. I love going to the movies, and yeah, just love playing ball with the homies. So
I give you work though.
we have to pull up one time.
We do.
So yeah, literally just do that, and like days off just chill, go have fun, like party on the weekends when we're allowed to, and then in season it's more like games and trying to recover. So I don't really do much, just watch a movie, play PlayStation in season. So you're just playing like nearly every week. So just trying to get the body right, and just chill out mostly. Like don't be too full on and come Monday I'm like pretty sore and can't perform. So just take it easy and just do my thing. Yeah,
I also think a lot of people don't understand how much really goes into being an athlete. It might look like, from the outside looking in, it might look like you just show up on game day and you play well. Like that is not it. That is not it. There's countless hours. It's a 9 to 5 job. It's more than that now, honestly, because it's team meetings, it's film, it's recovery, it's gym, running. You run 13 kilometers a day. Like it's all that added on top of things, and then people start to question why athletes get paid so much, and then you really look at what goes into it. And like you've been playing sports since you were a child. Like this now is when you're finally starting to reap the benefits of it. And I feel like people could go do a regular 9 to 5, whatever their grind is throughout the week. But like this is your grind. Like that's what you do, and you've worked your whole life to get to it. So at the end of the day, proud of you for doing things like that, and you're only going to keep getting better and better and growing. And I think that's awesome. But to end up on what we're talking about today, right now we're going to give you our Patreon exclusive content right now. So this next question is for only those that are subscribed to our Patreon service.
Definitely.
But Tarryn, man, I appreciate it. It's been awesome chatting with you. We can film something in another couple of years when you get your first Brownlow and have that conversation. But man, I appreciate it. It's been real.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, and we will see you next time on the Money Chasers podcast.